Hi, I want to go over the 8th grade 2017 STAR test with you. I'm going to work by category. So I'm going to do category 1, then category 2, then category 3, then category 4. So I will be wiggling around in this test, but that should help actually. All right, I'm on question 3. It says 2 numbers are shown below in the number line, and you can see 2. Here's 1, here's the second one. Which values is not located between the 2 numbers on this number line? So in other words, of these 4 choices, 3 work, 1 doesn't. So you just have to do the work to figure it out. Now, what would the trick be? You did put this in parentheses, right? If it's a fraction, stuff on top goes in parentheses and stuff on the bottom goes in parentheses. Otherwise, you get the wrong answer. So let's look at what we got. So we've got square root of 9 over 3. Now, when you turn your calculator on, I'm assuming it looks like that, and I hope you do second plus 7, 1, 2, and clear it, right? Because anybody's stuff is in there, and you don't need their stuff. All right, back to where we were. So you got square root of 9 over 3. So I'm going to type in parenthesis, square root 9, close that door if you don't mind, divided by 3. I get $1. So on my paper, I'm going to write $1. And I do like to talk in money because it's my favorite word. 2 times pi. Well, 2 times pi. How about 6.28? Now I can go back and grab the rest of that if I need it, but I think I'll be okay. So there it is, 6.28. I can add the 31 for you, but usually I don't need it. All right, so let's work on these answer choices. Pi. So you should be able to put your calculator up and then push the pi button, push the enter button, and get $3.14. And I would just work all the choices and then come back to the question. Square root of 9 is what? Close that door on the calculator. Answer is 3. And how much money is that? Yes, you're right, $3. The next one, is that a fraction? Thank you, it is, you're right. So I should see parentheses on top and parentheses on bottom if you want to see a check mark on your paper. So I should see parenthesis. I should see a pi. Close the door. Divide by parenthesis 9. So parenthesis on top, parenthesis on bottom. You can have extra parentheses, but it won't make it wrong. When you run out of parentheses, now it's wrong. Survey says 34 cents. Okay, fine, 35 cents. You're right. Next one. Is that a fraction? Well, certainly. So I should see a parenthesis. I should see pi to the second. And if you don't know where that little button is, it's right there. Little 2. You could use carrot top, but it seems like a lot more trouble. Close the door if you don't mind. It's cold in here. Divide by parenthesis 9. And again, look at what I've typed in. I put the numerator is in a fraction. Excuse me, the numerator is a fraction, but it's in parentheses. The denominator's in parentheses. And when I hit the enter button, I should get an answer. $1.10. Now you do know if you were in mode float 2, we roll to money anyway, and I wouldn't have to round these by hand. So if you look at your answer choices, $3.14 would be about in the middle. $3 would be right about in the middle. 35 cents, I think it'd be over here somewhere. So I'm going to have to go with no. And $1.10 would be like right there. So yes. Now, you have 3 check marks and 1 X. I suggest you pick the X. You only get the choice of 1 bubble on that test. C. Let's go to the next one. Question 18 is in category 1 also. And it talks about the mass of a textbook, approximately this big number. How is this number written in scientific notation? So I'm assuming it's scientific notation. You guessed right. So I should see me underlining. Where'd it go? Scientific notation. What is the calculator feature for that? What should you be picking? Sorry. So shouldn't I see you go to mode? And then what? Yes, you're right. Go over to scientific, push enter, and you can hit clear at this point. And if you should get these really weird answers with ease, and those are the correct answers. Now, you're going to type that number in. That one right there. So I don't care. Type in that 0. 0.00165. Check my calculator. I even typed in the first 0. Do I need it? No, but I typed it in just in case. Should choose. So, does it match? Everybody look. Let me see if I can get on screen. Perfect. Hit the enter button. The E does not stand for error. You're right. So I should write down 1.65 E negative 3. 1.65e negative 3. Now, you're going to have to convert that yourself. I can tell you it's $1.65. So if you're picking this one, I don't know what you're doing. We'll have to go with wrong. And I'm not sure why you're picking this one because that's what it says. Wrong. I don't like that one either because the decimal's between the 1 and the 6. Wrong. I kind of like G because, well, it's like the last one there. Remember, this is 1.65 times 10 to the negative 3. That E, you can call that exponent, you can call that times 10, I don't care what you want to call it, but that E is the exponent right there. So E can be the exponent, E can be times 10. If the zeros are on the left, it's negative. If the zeros are on the right, it's positive, just like a number line would be. Any questions? Perfect. Let's go to the next one. And I was in mode scientific. And you're going to have to change that back too. And if you don't know how to do that, you can always clear the calculator. 2nd plus 7, 1, 2 to get out of that. Question 29. It's a good one. Okay, it's a good one. It really is a good one. You're going to have to take this inequality and figure out, see that x, one of these 4 is x. And I can tell you, 3 of them are different. One fits. It's kind of like Goldilocks and the 3 bears. That bed's too hard, that bed's too soft, that bed's just right. So let's see what we can do. If I was you, I'd convert all this to money. You're right, my favorite word. So I should see calculator. And yeah, I've got lots of stuff, and if you hit this button called clear, it just like all goes away. So I need you to type in 1 divided by 8. And bummer. How about we go back to mode normal? How do you make that do that again? If you hit second enter, here's the second button, and if you push the enter button, it's right down here, it'll pull that back up. You don't have to type it in twice. And push the enter button. There you go. And if you would do mode float 2, you'd even like that answer better. So I'm going to clear out of there. So I want to do that again. Second enter. There. Money. 13 cents. I was in mode float 2. Usually that'll work. Now if it's a griddable, it won't work. So mode float 2 is where I was at. And anyway, 1/8 was 13 cents. Bring that symbol down. I'm going to leave this as a box, as in the question mark, as in X. If you're in elementary, you would see a question mark. Bring your less than sign down again. 18%. Well, let's talk about 18%. See those zeros in that one line there and that other zero? That's 100. That means 18 over 100. And you're going to type that in the calculator. So I've got 18 divided by 100. And I get 18 cents. So I put my 18 cents right there. So now the question is what fits here. Now, I am an algebra teacher, and and I like to use my algebra whenever possible, and it's always nice to review those features. I can read this thing forward and backwards. So here we go. This number right here is bigger than 13 cents. And let's come over here and see what we have. Now, dang, you're not in decimals. You got to convert all that. Now, I know 1/5 is 20 cents, but maybe you don't. 1 divided by 5, yep, 20 cents. And 1.6, do me a favor and just type that in. I just prefer you type it in. No time for mistakes. $1.60. Yes, you were right. You guessed anyway. 0.09, I think that's 9 cents. Now, wouldn't that be 160? Yes, sure. And that's 9 cents. I'm going to get rid of that decimal so I can convert it to simple something. Square root 0.02. I don't know. Square root 0.0. Whoops, that's not an O. 02, and close the door if you don't mind. It's called 14 cents. Now, if you notice 20 cents, 9 cents, 14 cents, I have a feeling this one's not going to fit. Lots of times, if the really big number is not going to fit and the really small number is not going to fit. So I'm guessing it's one of these two. Now, I could guess wrong, but usually the really, really big is probably wrong, and the really, really small is probably wrong. So let's see how good we guess. Let's put 20 cents in here. 20 cents is bigger than 13 cents. Well, yeah. $1.60 is bigger than 13. Yeah. 9 is bigger than 13. No, it's not. It's less. 14 cents is bigger than 13 cents. Yes, it is. So far, I'm doing pretty good right there. Let's go the other way. This is less than. This number is less than 18 cents. Is 20 less than 18? No, 20 is more. Is $1.60 less? No, it's more. That one's wrong. Is 14 cents less than 18? Yes, it is. Answer is D. And that's all there is to it. You did have to do a lot of thinking. It was the hard part's over here, and I usually read out. And the last question in this category 1. Question 31. Somebody wants to complete a square wall using so many square feet. Wallpaper without overlap. Which measurement is... I'm going to get all that on there. Which measurement is closest to the side length of this wall in feet? And it would be really nice if you had a printed copy of this test, because sometimes I don't have it on the screen. Anyway, I would say the keyword would be, I don't know, square. I see this, and this feet squares actually says a lot to me. That's the answer to an area question. If it's feet, that's perimeter. If it's feet squared, it's area. If it's feet to the third, it's volume. If it's feet to the fourth, well, I don't know what it is. I've never seen that. So that's 2 right there says this is an area question. And it's an area question for a square. So what do you know about a square? You're right. 4 sides are equal. What's the formula? Well, you could do side times side, or base times height, or length times width. I don't care. They all work. So I'm going to pick my favorite. Area equals base times height. I like that one because it works for the rectangle. These things over here are the side length. So this 22 is the base. So if A is right, that means 22 times 22 is this answer. That's what it says. And if B is right, that's 44 times 44 is this answer. Or 9 times 9 is this answer, or 7 times 7 is this answer. Well, let's see. 22 times 22, 44 times 40, that's a 4, promise. 9 times 9, and 7 times 7. Now, which one do you know by heart? Yeah, really. I know 9 times 9 is 81. That's not bad. 7 times 7 is 49. I think that's too small. D's out. I think 22 times 22 is more than 100. And I think 44 times 44 is way more than that. We can test it. 22 times 22. Yeah, 400 something. And I think the 44 times 44 is a lot bigger. So these are wrong. I kind of like C myself. Now, here's the deal. You're taking 8th grade test. The only question they're going to ask you about a square is more than likely a square root. Now, the short version would have been the square root of 87.5. Square root. Yep, they do have something in common. I know, we're silly, right? So if I'd have tried it that way, the square root of 87.5, and let's please close the door, that drives me crazy. Yep, there's my 9. So you could do it forwards or backwards. You're taking an 8th grade test. You're not going to have any questions on square except square root. That's just straightforward. Alrighty, this ends category 1. Hope you all had fun. Goodbye.